Yes, this is Baron Miles and I am back. The Darkwater Strand is rolling again. And I have a couple of announcements for you. First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being patient as we make repairs to things that have been a problem for a very long time. Yes. To the members, log in starting tomorrow, for that is when your new content will be posted. And if you are a member who was having a problem with your passcode, you should be able to reset it now. Yes. As for you here on the YouTube, soon I will be making you offers that you cannot refuse. I know some of you will say, oh, that costs too much money for me to pay to join the website, but I promise you, I will make a deal with you soon. Don't worry, I will keep bringing things to you until you sign up and become a member. Yes, I want you to know the price is $12 a month. Unless you were a previous member, your price is locked in. But if you are new, I cannot do much for you. Only thing you can do is pay that $12. Yes. This is Baron Miles and I miss talking to you. Dark Waters had me locked up in the basement. He would not let me speak at all. He told me that my mouth would spoil his plans. I know now what his plans are, and they are glorious on all angles. Yes. With that being said, enjoy the story.
Recently, I heard you talking about the effects of giving too much attention to the topic of Dogman and what the ultimate outcome would be and could be. And I realized that I'm one of those people you're speaking about. I was first introduced to the subject by listening to Dogman Encounters with Vic Cundiff, and I quickly graduated from that to listening to everything about these creatures and found myself obsessed with the topic, spending hours on Facebook in groups, constantly checking notifications from the over 20 Facebook groups I was following. And I'll never forget, it got to the point to where my husband insisted that I take a break from it all. You see, I found myself in an online feud over Dogman. And I'll never forget the look in his eyes when he read the messages on my cell phone, people calling me a slut and a whore. And the look of disappointment on his face when he checked his notifications and people were attacking him and he had absolutely no interest in this topic whatsoever. So I stopped listening to, watching, and participating in anything that had to do with Dogman. And let me tell you, it was hard to leave it all alone. I left every group I was involved in, banned all the people from contacting me, and tried my best to move on. Then one night, I'm home alone, and I need to say something to you. And for the record, I've never had a Dogman encounter in my life. Also, I live right next to Logwood Country Club in Houston, Texas. Like I said, I'm home alone in the kitchen washing dishes and look out of the window and see what looks like a Dogman walking around to the backside of my shed in my own backyard. Now, I'm standing there saying to myself, okay, you done lost your mind. There's no way possible that there's a Dogman in the middle of Houston. So I close the blinds, finish my dishes, and go to bed early. I'm laying there in the bed watching TV on my tablet when I hear this tapping on my bedroom window. And then this feeling combined with this thought comes and says, you bet not, don't you dare go over there and open them blinds and look out that window. But I was curious, so I got up, opened the blinds, and there it was. A little bitty cute baby Dogman is the only way to describe it. It was extremely cute. But when I looked back off in the distance next to the shed, what I saw left me completely and utterly terrified. Understand, I've opened the blinds, pulled them up. This little bitty one is right there up against the window. The big one is further back towards the shed. I'm saying to myself, okay, you must have fell asleep. You're dreaming. So I close the blinds and sit there trying to figure out what the hell is going on with me. Then my husband comes home from bowling, finds me sitting on the bed, staring off into space, and asks me what's wrong. So I tell him exactly what I saw. And he says, baby, you need help. You really, really need some help. But I insist that he go outside to the backyard and takes a look. That's when he tells me, hell no, he refuses to participate in my grand delusion. There is no way there's a werewolf here in Houston in our backyard. And you're not going to convince me of any of that foolishness. And listen to me, I'll tell you, it was right there in that moment that it was like this rage and anger came over him. I never seen him that mad in our entire relationship. He goes into the kitchen, gets a garbage bag, goes throughout the entire house, and grabs everything that I owned that had to do with Dogman. Takes my statues, takes my toys, takes my drawings, takes my paintings, takes everything that pertains to Dogman, throws it in his trash bag, throws it all into our fire pit, takes lighter fluid, and pause right here. Let me explain something to you. Now listen to me, right here in this moment is when the both of us realized that there may have been just a little bit more to what we thought was going on. And my husband even acknowledged it after this, because he pours that lighter fluid on all of that stuff, strikes a match, throws it on top, the flames pop up into the air, and we hear this growl, this audible growl that is so loud, so strong, that I felt it inside of my lungs and inside of my intestines. He even heard and felt the same thing. That's when the fire turned green. It was almost as if something was right there in front of us that we could not see that was growling at us. Now I want to be clear with you, I had not been listening to any Dogman content whatsoever. Been trying my best to stay away from it until I heard you on the Bump of the Night podcast. And then all of this came flooding back to me, like the pieces of the puzzle made sense. So I wanted to share this with you. However, I'm done with Dogman and anything to do with him. But I think everybody else should know that there's a hell of a lot more that's going on with these creatures than anybody's telling you. Listen, I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right near Seguin Lane. We're talking about a fully developed neighborhood, shopping malls, Home Depot. Now there's a few trees and wooded spots, but for the most part, the only thing I've ever seen in my neighborhood was a raccoon. This particular night, I'm out for a walk. I had my Rottweiler, Joseph, with me. I just wanted some fresh air, exercise. It's like 9:30. Imagine a scene. The two of us are walking down this road on the backside of my subdivision. To the left are houses. On the right-hand side are these woods. Now, the further you walk forward, you come up to what's kind of like a dried out creek or riverbed. Imagine a scene. Like I said, the two of us are walking. We come up to this bridge right over this dried up creek. And Joseph stops. He just stops and stares into the darkness. And after a few seconds, he starts to growl. But understand, that area that he's looking at is pitch black darkness. I know there's absolutely nothing there but that dried up riverbed. And he's standing there growling. My dog is standing there, staring that direction, doing the most aggressive growl I have ever heard him do. That's when I noticed these red eyes start to glow. You know how the traffic lights change from green to yellow to red? Well, imagine two red, glowing eyes in that darkness, literally the size of one of the traffic signals. And these eyes begin to glow, but it's this bright red color. I'm standing there saying to myself, oh, hell no, I don't know what this is, but Joseph, it's time to go. That's when I begin to yank on his leash and realize that my dog is frozen in place. Now, I'm pretty sure you're trying to figure out what I mean by frozen in place, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean by frozen in place. Imagine taking a steak out of the freezer. That is how my dog is. He is stiff and stuck in that spot. his leash that he's on is stiff and stuck in that spot as well. Right there in that moment is when this fear jumps into me. It didn't come over me. It didn't rise up in me. It literally jumped inside of my body. Fear. I remember letting his leash go, noticing that the leash did not fall to the ground, turning with intentions of running back to my house. Now, pause. I know this is going to sound crazy, but as I'm turning to run away, my physical body is running, but there's another part of me that's still standing there. How do I know? Because when I turned to run, I felt as if I left a part of myself in that spot. Next thing you know, I done ran 3 to 4 steps and I black out. Wake up at 2 a.m. to my dog licking my face excitedly. Understand, I'm on the side of that road on the back side of my neighborhood and the dog is licking on me and he's like super duper excited that I'm waking up. Me, I'm confused and terrified. Standing up, looking around, I don't see everything. In fact, everything feels peaceful and normal. So we head back to the house. I go inside, get a glass of water, take a shower. I'm absolutely terrified. Don't know what the hell is going on. Go to sleep. Get this. A couple of days later, I'm going to Walmart to make groceries. When I get inside of that Walmart, there's this beautiful little black girl. She has to be about 6-7 years old. You know how kids can sit in the basket where their legs are hanging out? Or they can be inside the big part of the grocery store basket. Well, she's inside the big part of the basket. Her mom is pushing her up and down the aisle. I walk past an aisle. She sees me, smiles and waves. And I say, oh, she's such a pretty little girl. I go to the next aisle. Her mother comes up that aisle. I'm trying to get some french fries out of the freezer. This little girl says to me, sir, you have a big cut on your chest. You've been hurt. And the angels are fixing it. Understand, I had taken a shower the night before. There is no cut on my chest. Nothing's physically wrong with my body. I'm looking at this little girl like she's crazy. Her mom looks over at her, then goes back to browsing through the freezer. Then as her mother is wheeling that basket away, the little girl says, sir, you were in a bad fight, but you won. You won. Listen to me when I tell you, bro, I'm totally and utterly terrified because it seems as if what this little girl was saying is true. Then when I got home, I got confirmation. I come in the house, open the front door, lay all of the groceries on the counter, and now I'm reaching to put my cereal up at a top shelf, and as I reach and stretch my arm out, I feel as if my chest is sore from bench pressing 500 pounds. I swear to you, it literally feels like the muscles in my chest are ripped open. Now get this, fast forward 2 more weeks. I'm out on the boat fishing with my best friend and his dad. We're just there casting lines in the water, making small talk. And I go to tell them about what happened to me. My best friend doesn't believe me, but his dad freaks me all the way out and says, tell me that again? So I tell him the story all over again. And he says, it sounds to me like your spirit body was in a fight. And the only way your spirit body comes out to fight is if there is a demon present. And that if my spirit body left my actual body to fight a demon, that there probably were angels there present helping me fight, and it may have been other people's spirit bodies there helping me fight. Understand, his dad was a hardcore Bible-reading, church-going Christian and a deacon in the church. Man goes on to explain to me that we have a spirit body and a physical body, and that our spirit body can leave and not only defend us, but defend other people. And if our spirit body is given over to God, then God will literally take our spirit body while we're asleep and use it for battle. Man, I've been reading the Bible my entire life, ain't never heard nothing like that. That's when I realized how immature and ignorant, just flat out ignorant I was in the Word of God. My spirit body had fought off a demon and left me laying on the side of the road for hours. Now, looking back on the situation, I'm thinking that Joseph's spirit body left and went to fight too.